Very important topic. I hope you noticed on the way in that this morning's forum is being hosted by the Conestoga Valley Democratic Committee. I am the acting chair. I'm also vice chair for the county party. Our county chair is here, making her way out from the seats. Sally Lyle. My name is JoAnn, Hentz, and if you are interested in being more active with the Conestoga Valley Democrats, please do contact us. Our information is on the program. We did this because we felt it was important that the community see us as active, involved, and concerned about many of the issues coming forward. Immigration, for some of us, is an extremely personal message. For some of us, it's vocation. And for some of us, it is political. And I know as I say that, I don't have to be a mind reader to know that somebody just said immigration shouldn't be political. So my answer to that is I'll throw in clean water. I'll throw in feeding hungry children. I'll throw in taking care of our vets. And I'll throw in that we in this room are not the people making it political. So I do think we need to have a response. Whether it's political or whether it's action in our community or what our response is. The first step is to be informed, and that's why we're here today. I thank you all for coming to be informed today, and I might come back with just a little bit of a political message later. Thank you.
Thank you, JoAnn. I understand that what she said is it could be a political issue. I think it's more a human rights issue. I think it's more of a human issue. I became familiar with the immigration process about 2003 or 2005 because I worked for an organization called Justice and Mercy, and we worked with detainees. And I always thought that our process was pretty good. I came here actually from Canada, and it was a pretty smooth process, but I was young. So I was basically appalled at the fact of what was going on in the detention facilities at Berkson and New York. And so I started meeting with people from Africa, Middle East, Central America, and they basically are removed. They were removed without any notice, of course, and so it's extremely traumatic for themselves, their families, their children. And if it's a whole family that's being removed and are undocumented, they're actually separated in detention, and that can take years. There's an indefinite process. Hearings can be years later from when they're picked up. So right now there's over 500,000 cases, and there's not enough judges to see them, so it can take a long time. And I know that our panel is going to be talking about that. But under the Trump administration, the goal is to expedite removal of immigrants as soon as possible, even with low criminal records or no criminal records, just people who are undocumented. So, as you know, that's already begun, and they've had countless phone calls now of people put in detention. So these are good people. They're not criminals as what's being portrayed in the news. They're not violent criminals, which would be deported and have been deported under President Obama's administration. These are people that came here for the American dream. They came here for better lives, but their dreams became nightmares. And there they are sitting, worried that they're going to be picked up or have been picked up. So the problem, what is the problem? We've had this immigration problem for years, but no, Congress has not addressed it and no one else has addressed it. So now we're just basically looking at immigrants and saying it's their fault. But the process is actually flawed. It can take a long time. There's not enough agents to actually process if people want to renew their visas. And 40% of people have come here on legal visas. So I know that on asylum, all the immigrants I had entered legally, but some of them come with asylum or seeking asylum because they were afraid to go back. I met a man named Mumuni, who part of his family was actually killed in Burkina Faso because of the political revolution taking place there. So he had to go back, and he was very scared, and thankfully he's okay. But a lot of other people go back and their lives are in danger, and sometimes they're killed. So for me, it's not a political issue. For me, it's a very personal issue. And I think everybody who has a heart, everybody should be concerned and consider it your issue. So I'm very, very happy to have the panel that we have here today. I know that they will address many of our questions, and I look forward to that. Right now, I just want to introduce moderator Jonathon Fox. He will be leading the panel out. So thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's wonderful that you have come out on such a wonderful morning when we could be many other places. So I salute you all in the panel. I'm going to introduce the panel right away, but just make one brief comment. 7 years ago, while with the County Human Relations Commission, we sponsored what I believe will be a similar panel 7 years ago. How many were at attendance for that? JoAnn, I remember you. Mr. Mattis, were you part of that back then?
I don't think I was.
Well, I know we worked with you well.
I know I was definitely.
Jose at that time, Andy Hoover, Jose was on city council then, Andy Hoover was with the ACLU. We had come together with Nick Valsack from the ACLU. If you remember, then Mayor Barletta had done this song and dance with the city of Hazleton, where he had an ordinance passed to force landlords to check the papers of any prospective tenant. Luckily, that was thrown out of court. The good attorney just shakes his head, but that was 7 years ago. Things haven't much changed, or they haven't flowed. I want to go from the furthest out in Audrey. Is that? Audrey, you're right there. All right. So then let me do it the other way. Why don't you introduce yourself?